Hey folks, Allison here. I want to talk to you today about a really serious topic. I wrote an article a while back called Hurt by the Church, Saved by the Faith. And I was referencing people that I've worked with, victims of priest abuse. And it is a devastating thing, and we know that many people lost their faith because of what happened to them. And many people lost their faith because of the scandal. All right, they lost faith in the church, and understandably so. There's been some terrible abuses that have gone on. And now, after the lockdowns and after the bishop's response to some of the pandemic stuff, many people are feeling very wounded. Many people are feeling abandoned by the church. And I found for some victims, this is a trigger for them, that it feels again like they're being abandoned by the church. So I want to make a differentiation here, right? The church is the mystical body of Christ, the bride of Christ, and she's unerring, all right, in terms of faith and morals. However, there are people in the church, and there are even people in the hierarchy of the church that are not representing her very well. There's been a lot of abuses that have gone on, and it's part of the wounded body of Christ. So I think we need to understand and recognize that there's a difference between those in the church who have failed and what the church actually is and what the faith is. And the point of my article was that even though somebody was hurt by the church, it was the Catholic faith that actually saved them and helped them to heal. So I think there's a call to each one of us as we're going through these crazy times that we're in. Whether you've been a victim, whether you've been scandalized by what happened, or whether you feel abandoned by the church right now, here's a call for us to really dive in deep to the catechism of the Catholic Church, to the true traditions of the church, and really learn what it's about. Because all healing ultimately comes from the body of Christ, by the church, by the bride of Christ. So as much as we're scandalized by some bad people within the church, to me that indicates the divine nature of the church. Because if it were simply a human institution, it never could have survived 2,000 years. The fact that it's survived all these years despite some bad people tells us that it truly is a divine institution. So here's a call. We could either walk away. Where do we go, though? What else is going to offer us what the Catholic Church does in terms of the sacraments, in terms of the Eucharist, in terms of reconciliation? Do not let the bad people that are in the church stand between you and God. The great Zig Ziglar had a great line. Somebody said, "I don't go to church because of all the hypocrites there." And his response was this: if you're letting a hypocrite stand between you and God, well, that hypocrite's standing just a little bit closer, isn't he? So I want you to keep that in mind. This is a bad thing that we're going through, but it can be a really good thing, because now we need to get down to the basics. What is the church? Why do the sacraments matter? Pick up the Catechism of the Catholic Church. It's a simple book. I'll show it to you. It's a simple book, thick book, tells you everything about what the church actually teaches. Beautiful section on prayer. Because ultimately, folks, it boils down to your personal relationship with Jesus. And I know a lot of evangelicals are known for saying that, and a lot of Catholics aren't. But in the final analysis, it is about your relationship with God and His relationship with you. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Yes, there's a lot of stuff, and yes, we may be very disappointed by how the church has handled certain things, how certain bishops have responded to things, at some of the abuses that have gone on. It's horrifying. And you know something? I think as much as all these terrible things may be going on in other areas of society and universities and other churches and everything else, it seems like it's unfair that the Catholic Church is the one that's targeted, but I think it speaks a certain truth that we should be held to a higher standard if we are the true bride of Christ, the true church. So we muddle along right now. God will eventually work out all the details, but it boils down to you and Jesus, and the best weapons you have are the sacraments. Those are the channels of graces that Jesus himself set up for our salvation, and for our healing. So now's the time to dive deeper. Now's the time to really learn your faith. Start with the Catechism. Start with some of the great Christian writers. All right, Chesterton, C.S. Lewis, who wasn't Catholic, but he had some really great stuff. Fulton Sheen. There are some great resources out there. Now's the time to dive in deeper, because the world wants to separate us from God. So the church has been gravely attacked, just as the family's been gravely attacked. We need to fight back with spiritual weapons. We need to hold fast, and we need to recognize where our help actually comes from. And it is from the bride of Christ, as wounded as she may be. So I hope you find that helpful. Please make sure you like and share the video, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. God bless you.